Stand by.
Stand by.
Welcome back to Ann Arbor as we get set for kickoff here between Michigan and Ohio State, taking a look inside the stadium. Now, how about the Michigan Wolverines going with the all-blue uniforms today? The first time in the history of the rivalry that they have done something like that. It's going to be interesting. Christy Kopanis is going to join me back here on the desk, and as we look inside the stadium right now at the warm-ups, there is so many dynamics to this thing. Never in a billion years that I think we'd be talking about uniforms and things like that. But Christy, the kids care. That
that matters. You gotta look fly.
Yeah.
That's what the kids. I think that's what the kids say.
I was gonna say I'm a little old. Is that
fresh,
the kids?
Fly, fleek.
I don't know what they say
Something
anymore.
like that. But
all right.
The unis matter.
In recruiting, it matters. Yes, absolutely. You're a recruit. They want that kind of stuff. You've been out walking around amongst the fans. What has the environment been like around as you've been walking around?
It's so fun. When you go out to tailgate, obviously there's the heckles back and forth of go blue, go Bucks, but a lot of the Ohio State fans, you have to be next to Michigan fans when you're tailgating. That's your only option. They're playing nice for now. Michigan fans, from what I've heard and what they've talked about, very confident. Even though they are the underdogs, they're very confident.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're a Michigan fan, I don't know how much chirping you can do when you've lost 15 out of 16, you've lost 8 in a row. There's not much you can do.
But it's the game, you still chirp anyway.
Absolutely.
Well, even if the chirp's a little quieter.
That's what makes this so darn good. All right, let's get back out to Jeff Smith. He is out at the Appliance Center. And Jeff, it feels like there's a Northwest Ohio tie to everything, and you found one of those.
You know, I think there's a Northwest Ohio tie to the tailgates as well. You're going to have to send Christy back out there. I saw on social media where our own Melissa Andrews is setting up shop not too far from the stadium. So you're going to have to track her down as well. Jordan, thank you. Christy, thank you. And yeah, everybody's got their own special reasons each and every year that this game happens. But maybe none more so than one Northwest Ohio native who has been on the sidelines for OSU all season long. Toledo will be well represented at this year's big game. On one sideline, a man who was born in the Glass City, Michigan head coach Jim Harbaugh. On the other sideline, Dr. Bryant Walrod, the 1991 St. Francis de Sales High School graduate, is Ohio State football's head team physician. He's been with OSU athletics for 8 years, but got the call up to football this year.
It was neat. You know, I've obviously always been a fan, always followed it and stuff like that, and always kind of thought, man, it would be cool to be out there and kind of blending, you know, like most people in sports medicine have a history of in sports being an athlete and then, you know, liking medicine. So then, like, it was awesome.
Dr. Walrod says being on that sideline, especially this week, is a big deal because growing up in Toledo, this game was always a big deal.
The game was just a part of what we knew, especially where we lived. It was so important, you know, and kind of split down the middle. And this week is huge because, you know, both teams are amazing this year, but then independent of record, it's always a big game.
Walrod says behind the scenes, there is so much medical team preparation during the week, making sure these elite athletes are ready for the field. And he says any given Saturday, when you're watching the game, you likely won't see him, at least not right away.
Usually the athletic trainers are the first responders, so when you see somebody go down with an injury, those are the guys that are going to run out and then see what is going on. And then if there's a major injury, sometimes they'll call the docs out as well to kind of help out.
So back in the late 80s and early 90s there on Bancroft, Walrod says being where he is today wasn't always part of the plan.
Pretty cool how things evolve and kind of how the plan evolves for you. You know, I think even back in high school, I knew I wanted to go into a medicine, but I didn't know where it would take me as far as sports medicine and bringing me back home. You know, I've only been back in Columbus since 2014. So to kind of come back, you know, quote unquote home, to be with, you know, this, you know, school that I followed, this team that I followed is just amazing.
Dr. Walrod says he still has Toledo ties and he treasures his time at this all-boys prep school and how it started his path to being part of an outstanding season. Now, you might ask WTOL 11, how'd you know this guy was doing this? Well, to be completely transparent, Bryant and I graduated from St. Francis together back in 1991. The other thing I wanted to point out is Bryant said before he accepted this gig, before Ohio State called and he said yes, he had to check with his wife because he said there's a lot of travel that is mixed into being the team doctor. And obviously, Bryant said that he hopes there's a lot more travel to come. Maybe a big bowl game here, maybe 2 big bowl games here in the next couple of weeks. Jordan, back to you.
All right, Jeff, thanks so much. Yeah, the Buckeyes hoping that there's still a couple more games down the line, a Big Ten championship game, and then potentially 2 playoff games as well. And that's what makes this thing so cool. There's so many Northwest Ohio ties. It doesn't matter what story we do, we always find one.
I was just walking, and the first 3 tailgates I hit, they saw the WTOL, and they went, Toledo. Like, we were like, what's the chances? But, yeah, no, what's the chances? They're everywhere.
Everywhere. It's a beautiful thing. All right, the fans have begun to file inside the big house. Take a look at this shot from high overhead. They are piling in. Good luck. You've got about 30 minutes right now. Run, quick.
What a line.
This is going to be great. The rivalry continues after this.